Millennials are the new majority. Those born between the years 1981 and 1997 are now the largest generational segment in the United States. They have eclipsed the baby boomers in terms of size, and in so doing, they are now driving the American culture and influencing the generations both before and after them. They are now, and for the foreseeable future, the mainstream and our largest target market. But do we really know who this generation is, how they think and behave, and what they want from us? GFK and Loftex have developed this short video to share with you some key findings about the millennial target to help us in our thinking about this important consumer segment. The findings in this video are derived from GFK Consumer Life, which has been studying the American consumer since 1973 and helps clients understand market opportunities within different consumer and category segments. One of the ways in which GFK helps our partners understand consumers is to evaluate the consumer's underlying values. Values are deep-rooted beliefs that are at the core of human behavior. We see that millennials place more importance on values such as authenticity, ambition, having fun, enjoying life, and honesty. These values drive a lot of their behaviors, which we will see in a few moments. If we go back to 1975 and think about what was important to young people then, we see that there was a real focus on experiences in terms of what was considered the good life. This was when boomers were becoming young adults. If we flash forward to the 1990s, we see that young people grew more materialistic in their definition of the good life. Today, we see that experiences have rebounded in importance, but we also see the good life is more fragmented than it ever has been. With this fragmentation, it means that it is more important to really understand what is important to our customers.
I really had to find my worth and value in myself and in my identity and really seek that out because, people always, the first question they ask is, what are you doing for a living, or those things, and not having those things define you as much within the American dream, but just being happy with, the fact that I can help my little brother, or I'm able to, serve other people, and there's so many blessings that I have to give, and just being somebody that's, mission-minded or purpose-minded in that sense, for me is where my joy comes from at this point.
After the recession of 2008 and 2009, we saw activity in the housing market slip. This impacted all adjacent categories around the home, including home furnishings and textiles. In particular, we saw that millennials, who were just about hitting the age when many people might purchase their first home, were very reluctant to enter into the housing market. However, in our most recent data, we see that when we look at first-time home buyers in the past 5 years, this segment is now, finally, being driven by millennials. In addition, home ownership is on the minds of millennial consumers, with big increases in the number of millennials saying that they are planning to purchase a home in the next 2 to 3 years. Almost 4 out of 10 younger millennials are saying that saving money to buy a home is their main financial goal at this time. As is the case with many new homeowners, millennials report high levels of interest in doing things like home decorating, home renovations, and purchasing new appliances.
We're also risking a lot with the possibility of starting a family or keeping strong friendships. I've lived in 6 cities or something like that since I was 18, and as a result I have friends all over the place, but I don't have a tight group of people right next to me. But those sorts of risks are paying off.
It is also important to note, however, that these types of activities are not necessarily exclusively for home owners. Renters as well show interest in these type of activities and are an important subsegment of the marketplace, particularly as some millennials continue to opt for a more mobile and perhaps less traditional lifestyle that may impact their housing arrangements. Earlier, we saw how millennials' values influence their behaviors. Their values impact how they think about the home. We see that millennials are much more likely to agree with statements such as, I'm always looking for new things to make my home look nicer, and I'm always thinking of creative ways to improve the look and feel of my home. Individuality is important to this generation in their home. Are we helping them in their goal of wanting the style of their home to be different from others? Fun, novelty, and experience are important in the retail space for millennials. We see that, aside from price, the sheer interest in trying new things can motivate millennials to switch brands. They are brand-oriented but fickle. How are we keeping them interested? One of the ways is design. Design plays a really critical role in brand decisions within this group. We would be remiss if we were not thinking about digital in the retail space. Millennials have driven a new path to purchase, and social media is wielding strong power in swaying purchase decisions among this cohort. The smartphone is an integral part of the retail experience, both in brick and mortar and in e-commerce. Millennials are the leaders in the rise of mobile shopping, but making decisions in a shorter and more compressed time frame. It has never been more important to understand the millennial segment. They are the new majority and are different than the consumer we may be used to. They are influencing those that have come before them as well as younger cohorts. They are moving quickly and requiring all of us in the marketplace to move quickly along with them.